Good morning, students. We are into reading the chapter The Enemy, written by Pearl S. Bach. Yesterday, we read in our chapter that how Dr. Sudhav performs an operation on this American enemy soldier, and as he is operating, he is recalling the American professor of anatomy and his teachings while he is operating on this person. And then very carefully and cautiously he takes out the bullet from the American patient, and he saved his life. And then we read that how this young man, when he woke, he was very frightened to see himself housed in a Japanese home, and he is all afraid that what might be his fate with this family. So let's read this chapter. Outside the door, Hana was waiting for Sadav. He saw at once that she was in trouble. So Dr. Sadav notices that Hana was waiting outside the bedroom, and he realized from her face that there was something wrong. Sadav, Yumi tells me the servant feel that they cannot stay in if we had this man here anymore, she said. So Yumi had informed Hana that the rest of the servants feel that if this American prisoner is going to be hidden in their house any more longer, then it wouldn't be possible for servants to stay with the masters. She tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. And Yumi has also informed Hana that the servants are of the view that because Hana and Sadao had stayed in America for a good period of time, then they have forgotten their country, and they have forgotten their responsibility towards their country. They think we like Americans, and Yumi and Gardner and Cook, they believe that both the master mistress likes the Americans. It is not true, Sadav said harshly. Americans are our enemies. So Sadav very harshly announces that that's wrong, that's not true. We don't like Americans, and moreover, Americans are our enemies, that is, the enemies of Japanese. But I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. But then Dr. Sadav says that being a doctor, he cannot let a person die in front of him if he can provide in whatever or whichever help he can provide to the person and can save him. So he can't let a person die in front of him. The servants cannot understand that, she said anxiously. No, he agreed. So Hana says that the servants won't understand this, and even Dr. Sadav agrees to it. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. So both of them were quiet, they couldn't say anything more, and somehow the daily routine kept on going, the household things kept on going. The servants grew watchful. The servants grew more watchful, that is, the servants grew alert, they became vigilant. Their courtesy was as careful as ever. Courtesy, that is politeness. But their eyes were cold upon the pair to whom they were hired. So they were polite, but then they became cold, they became unfriendly, they became unsympathetic towards the pair, that is Dr. Sadav and Hana, to whom they were hired, to whom they provide their services. It is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. So one morning, what did the gardener say? Gardener said that the master knows very well what should be done. He had worked with flowers all his life and had been a specialist too in moss. So throughout his life, he has been dealing with flowers and moss, and he is a specialist in moss. For Sadav's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface. So for Sadav's father. So this gardener had been working from when Dr. Sadav was a child. So he has been serving Dr. Sadav's father. He had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan. So he had prepared a beautiful moss garden for Dr. Sadav's father, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly. So he would sweep the bright green colored carpet of the moss. He would keep it clean so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface, so that the sharp leaves of the pine tree would not spoil the soft velvet surface of the moss. My old master's son knows very well what he ought to do, he now said, pinching a bird from a bush as he spoke. So he's plucking a bud from a bush and he says that my master's son, that is Dr. Sadav, knows very well what he should have done. What he should have done? When the man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? So Gardner is of the view that when this person, the American enemy soldier, was so close to death, why did he not bleed him to death? Why did he try to save him or to operate on him? That young master is so proud of his skill to save life that he saves any life, the cook said contemptuously. So the cook, very scornfully, disrespectfully says that the young master is very proud of his skills to save life. That is, Dr. Sadav is very proud of his skill to save life of the people. That he saves any life and is so proud that he does not even consider whom to save and whom not to. That is, he works on any human beings and starts saving the life of the person. She split a fowl's neck skillfully and held the fluttering bird and let its blood flow into the roots of a wisteria vine. So the cook is holding the fowl, that is the hen, in her hands, and she does what? She splits, she cuts the hen's neck very skillfully, and then that fluttering bird, the trembling bird, she is holding in the hand. Why? So that the blood flow into the roots of wisteria plant, so that the blood of that hen flows into the roots of the wisteria plant. Now why she did so? Blood is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it. So the old gardener, with his experience, believed and was of the view that the blood is a very good fertilizer, and the gardener is not going to let the drop of the hen's blood fall on the floor. So he instructed the cook to hold the fowl in the hen and let the blood flow into the wisteria vine, and would not let even a drop of blood get waste. It is the children of whom we must think, Yumi said sadly. What will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? So Yumi is very sad for the children and she is worried about the fate of the children. She is worried that Dr. Sadav, if things are into notice, then Dr. Sadav would be termed as traitor. He would be arrested as one who has betrayed his country. So what would be the fate of the children? Even they would be tortured in the name that their father was a traitor or is the traitor. So she is worried about the kids and she is sad about that why Dr. Sadav and Hana are trying to serve the American enemy soldier. They did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hana as she stood arranging the day's flowers in the veranda nearby, and she knew they spoke on purpose that she might hear. So when the cook and the gardener and Yumi are discussing regarding their masters, the master harboring an enemy soldier, trying to save him, trying to operate and save him, and Yumi worried about the children that they would be labeled as traitors' kids. So when they're speaking, they know that the master, that Hana, the mistress, is there, and she was working, she was arranging the day's flowers in veranda, and they're intentionally speaking so that she could understand, or she can come to know about their views about the act that master and mistress have done. That they were right, she knew too, in most of her being. And then Hannah knew that servants are not wrong, that the servants are right, that they should not harbor an enemy, because that would be like they would get arrested, or there might be any other risk to their life harboring an enemy. So she knew that they were right, the servants are right in their opinions. But there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. So Hannah was not able to understand something. She was not able to understand herself, her opinions about this injured man, about this American enemy. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. It's not that she's getting attracted to him, or she has some sentiments that the person is injured and he was all into blood and stuff. No, she did not had so. She had come to think of him as a prisoner. So the clarity was that he is an American, all Americans are enemies, and he is a POW, prisoner of war. So there was clarity that he is a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday when he had said in his impulsive way, "Anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom." So the other day, or the day before, this American prisoner introduces himself to Hannah, telling that his name is Tom. And that moment also she did not like him. She had only bowed her little distant bow. So the minute he introduces himself, she pays a little bow to him. She saw hurt in his eyes, but she did not wish to assault it. Now, seeing the reaction of Hannah, Tom, that is the American POW, the American enemy soldier. He was hurt with the reaction of Hannah, but then she is not trying to satisfy him, or trying to reduce him or calm him. No, she's not doing that. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house. Moreover, he was a trouble. This American POW was a trouble in the house, because Dr. Sadao and Hannah could get arrested because of him. So he was a trouble person, a trouble for the family. As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. So Dr. Sadao used to examine this American enemy soldier, and he used to check out his wounds and the recovery that he was going through. The last stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would in a fortnight be nearly as well as ever. So the last stitches were also removed, and the young man would be, in a period of 14 days, would be altogether very fine and good. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police reporting the whole matter. So Dr. Sadao moves to his office and he starts writing a letter, and this letter is addressed to the chief of police. And what is he writing in the letter? On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So he's narrating the incident. He's reporting to the chief of police through his letter that this was the time of 21st of February, and how an escaped prisoner was carried away onto the shore in front of his house. So far he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report in it. So till here he wrote down that how a prisoner was washed ashore in front of his house, and then that typed letter he places in a secret drawer of his desk, the writing desk, and does not finish this report. On the 7th day after that, two things happened. So 7th day after, Dr. Sadao was into writing a letter, and he finished this unfinished report and places it back in his secret drawer of the desk. After that, two things happened. In the morning, the servants left together, their belongings tied in large square cotton kerchief. So the servants left the job and they have tied their belongings in a long piece of square cloth. When Hannah got up in the morning, nothing was done, the house not clean, and the food not prepared, and she knew what it meant. What it meant. So when Hannah woke up, she realized that the house was very dirty, it was not clean, and even the food was not prepared. So she realized that servants were up to something. They were already not in favor of their master giving a refuge or a shelter to this American enemy. So she realized that something might be there with the servants. She was dismayed and even terrified, but her pride as a mistress would not allow her to show it. So she was very sad and even she was afraid also. But then she did not show her feelings, her emotions onto her face. Instead, she inclined her head gracefully when they appeared before her in the kitchen, and she paid them off and thanked them for all that they had done for her. So when the servants came to her, so very gracefully she thanked them for the work they have done and the services they have provided, and even she paid them for their services. They were crying, but she did not cry. So the servants were crying, but then she was calm and composed. The cook and the gardener had served Sadao since he was a little child in his father's house, and Yumi cried because of the children. So the cook and gardener were from the very beginning when Sadao was a little boy. They have served Sadao's father, and Yumi was worried about the children. She was so grieving that after she had gone, she ran back to Hannah. So Yumi left, and again she returns back to Hannah. Why? If the baby misses me too much tonight, send for me. I am going to my own house, and you know where it is. So Yumi says to Hannah that if the baby are missing me, they cry today, this night, then you know my house very well, and you know that I'm going to my house. You know my house very well, so you can call me anytime. Thank you, Hannah said, smiling, but she told herself she would not send for Yumi, however the baby cried. So Hannah was very thankful to Yumi, but that she made her mind that though the baby cries, she will not call Yumi.